For our next activity, we're going to create a new snack mix. And our participants are actually going to go out in the audience and, using the selected snack mix ingredients we have here, find out what the audience prefers in their new snack mix. We also have a couple of participants who are going to create the new snack box for our snack mix. They're going to take the size of the cereal box, and they're going to find out for us just how much cereal or snack mix this box will hold in terms of volume. And to do that, they're going to use these cubic centimeters, and they're going to measure the volume of this box. Meanwhile, this group will be out in the audience, and they've listed each of the items, and they're going to do a survey. So they will ask each of you in what order you would choose these ingredients for a snack mix that you might buy at the grocery store. This market survey format is a very realistic, very scientific way of figuring out what the public would buy. Your job is going to be to make what they create appealing and stand off the shelf so that someone would really want to buy it. Okay? You'll notice on the table we have some gloves. Thank you. Food service gloves, medical gloves are all appropriate. You will want to check with your local health regulations to find out food handling requirements in your area. Some areas now require that any time you come in contact with the ingredients of something that you have gloves on. So please check with that before you do this activity. So let's go ahead and start our survey.
Check marshmallows, Nestle's chocolate chips, Cheerios, raisins, or the dried fruit. What's your first choice?
First, I think the chocolate chips.
Hey, my favorite chip.
It's in the marshmallows.
Okay. Second?
And raisins.
Raisins should be your third. Okay, great. How about you?
My first is dried mixed fruit.
Okay.
Check, please.
Yeah, well, I got it. I'm going to change my mind. Is the goal, do we need to try to fill the box? Do we make enough and then we can pour it in the box?
You're going to make individual surveys so that the people you survey can tell you what they think of it.
Oh, we have to serve these people. Oh, fine. All right. Okay. How much by weight? And then we can put that little bit flavor on our box. Settling the curve. Yeah. But that would be volume. It would weigh the same.
When we did this with a group of teachers in Washington, D.C., one of the teachers raised their hand and said, but the ingredients I wanted aren't in there. And we said, the purpose of the survey is not to get what you want, it's to get what the broad public wants. And this public here will make the decision. The choice of ingredients is kind of crucial here. If you're talking about nutrition, you're going to want to guide the nutritional elements of it. And whereas we may not have gone with the healthiest ingredients, you need to tailor to the purpose that you desire in your classroom.
Maybe so we want maybe a quarter, one big bag, and scoop it from there and give everybody a quarter of a bag.
Can we do that? Yeah, we can. This is our day. We make it up. Okay.
This group is now ready to construct a cereal box for the snack mix, but first let's find out what the volume was of the cereal box. How many cubic centimeters fit inside this box?
288.
Wow. What you want to do is to have the kids construct their definition of volume by having them place the cubic centimeters inside the box, and first of all, knowing that those squares filled it up, talk about volume. You can also achieve that by having them place how many cubes would fit along the length, width, and height of the box, one of the edges, and use the conventional formula for figuring out volume if they're already familiar with volume. Now they're ready to take this template. They've ripped apart the box. They're going to be able to lay it flat on a piece of white construction paper or cardboard and thereby have a template for a brand new box that they decorate and are ready to market with the snack mix that the other group designs. Well, I know I'm hungry. Have you come up with the ingredients now?
Yes.
And you're mixing them. They look wonderful.
Well, we had a discussion between did we want to go healthy or did we want to go cheap? You know, marshmallows and the fresh and the dried fruit were tied, but we decided the dried fruit was healthier than the marshmallows.
So, as the marketer, you made that decision as the company. Okay. And each company, each group of students that does this is going to be making those types of decisions as to the proportion of ingredients, the combination, and they may find out that they believe that certain ingredients won't go together and they won't use them. Are there any questions from the audience?
Chuck, now that the group on my right here is creating the box, who is going to come up with the name? Don't they need a name to market their product?
Very good question. This is one of those times when, even though different groups are doing very different tasks, they're now going to need to start communicating because they're going to need to come up with a logo, a list of ingredients, and obviously a name for their product, and eventually a price. Because for this volume of SnackMix, what will it cost for them to be able to put it on the shelves of the supermarket, and will people want to pay the price for that? So those are all questions that these two groups are now going to need to start talking about and answer among themselves.
I have a question for Lisa's group. How did you come up with your measurements of how you're mixing your trail mix together?
Well, we calculated the number of people in the audience and the number of people up here, and we realized that we wanted to feed about 16 people. We looked at the ingredients that were selected that was everyone's favorite, and raisins was at the top of the list. So we figured that if we gave every person a fourth of a cup of the mix, then we would need 4 cups. So we decided to do 2 cups of raisins and 1 cup of the other 2 ingredients.
They will come back to you in a taste test and see what your remarks are on the ingredient mixture that they put together. This will help them prepare their final recipe if they were going to be truly marketing this.
Chuck, one of the things that we discussed was if you wanted to complete this activity in a day, you could figure out the box in math class and then mix the food together in science class, and then in language arts work on a logo, or, you know, so it could be an interdisciplinary type thing, which is real popular in the middle school.
Right, these thematic topics that go cut across all areas of the curriculum are marvelous.
Something we've discovered is that you really should have done those language arts activities before you do this, so that your design is done before you actually put the box together.
Right. And does it have to be a box? Could they design something more eye-catching of a container to, you know, pull marketing things that way rather than just look like another box?
Certainly, and by middle school and high school, you should not constrain them to making a box. Certainly for transportation reasons and shelf space in supermarkets, certain shapes are more conventional, but is there a shape that they could devise that would keep the ingredients from crushing, keep them fresh, and be appealing to the consumers at the same time?
All right, well, we have to come up with a name.
It's mostly fruit.
And it's fruit and chocolate. Well, really, it's mostly raisins.
Fruit and morsels.
Yeah, fruit and morsels. Fruit and bits. No, the bits and fruit.
Fruit and morsels sounds like cereal.
Bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces. I like that.
Bits and pieces. Bits and pieces.
So, how did the audience enjoy their snacks? Does anyone want to tell us about it? Clyde looks like he wants to tell us about it.
I didn't particularly like it, to be honest. I think the dry fruit was a little too large.
What do you think could be done better?
Banana chips, some dried pineapple, too many prunes.
What did you think, Shereen?
I liked it. I preferred the raisins anyway. I enjoyed it.
Do you guys think that the name was appropriate that they chose?
Yes, I do. I think some color in it of some type might be better though.
I think what's exciting about this particular exercise is it makes the students more aware of what actually goes into the kinds of things that they see on their grocery shelf every day. And it allows them to take a more objective look at the kinds of purchases that they're making and why they're buying some of the things that they are. It's very exciting, too, how many different fields you can integrate. You talk about volume and the different packaging techniques, and then work in art with the color relationship, and then with the mathematics, and then writing a journal or instructions and ingredients on the back. So I think this is a great interdisciplinary exercise.
Well, you could extend this right into music and have them write a jingle. Sure. Have them make a commercial for their product.
All of these issues come about as the kids discuss their surveys, make their snacks, and come back and reinvent. Whether they reinvent an actual second snack or reinvent the recipe, it's a very important step in the whole scientific process of marketing an item. And the use of measuring tools and that sort of thing can help them talk about mixtures of ingredients and proportions of those ingredients. Can we see the decoration for the box now?
Well, since it was called Bits and Pieces, we decided to use jigsaw puzzle pieces as a part of our decoration. And the rest is just color.
Information on the typical cereal box will remind students of what to put on their own. Nutritional information, a list of ingredients, and the company that made the snack mix should all appear on the children's own snack box. They can find other examples of this by taking a field trip to a local grocery store prior to the activity.